Hello, my dear listener. I'm glad to see you on my channel. I want to tell you a dark but interesting story about the light in the darkness, the epic journey of Edric, the man who brought hope back to the... Enjoy watching! Just once upon a time, in a dark and ominous world, engulfed in ghostly darkness and eternal darkness, there lived a lonely wanderer named Edric. The year was 3035, and the Earth suffered a terrible catastrophe, due to which the entire world plunged into chaos and destruction. Outside the borders, no one remembered what the light of day was, and only ancient legends told about the times when the sun sparkled in the heavens. Edric was an explorer of the outskirts, determined to uncover the secrets of his tormented world. His silver hair, gray from terrible trials, and deep eyes full of despair were a reflection of his soul, tormented by nightmares and ominous visions. One gloomy evening, as darkness engulfed the world, Edric climbed to the top of Judgment Hill, an ancient mountain surrounded by myths about a curse cast there centuries ago. He entered a long-forgotten temple, hoping to unravel its secrets and find salvation for his world-torn spirit. Fearful anticipation and silence were his only companions as he descended into the depths of the temple. The dusty air, saturated with the smell of decayed times, made him cough, but he continued to move forward, determined to leave this damned temple alive. Finally, Edric reached the very heart of the temple, where a suspiciously twisted relic lay on a centuries-old altar. According to legend, this relic was the key to freeing the world from its darkness and darkness. She had the power to restrain the terrible creatures that on the fear of the remaining inhabitants of the world. Suddenly, a ghostly warrior appeared in front of Edric. He was dressed in armor covered with the dust of time, and his eyes glowed with dark flames. The warrior blocked Edric's path and warned him that the relic was a trap created by the dark forces themselves, and refrained from touching her. Edric could not retreat. He saw the face of hunger and hopelessness in the eyes of his fellow citizens, and was obliged to try to free them from the horror that enveloped the world. Without hesitation, he reached out to the twisted relic, feeling a torrent of darkness and fear wash over him. Witnessing teens were allowed to it second after second passed, and suddenly the entire room was filled with a bright light emanating from the relic. The darkness gave way to light, and a new sense of hope began to permeate. The figure of a great ancient sage appeared before Edric, shining brighter than the sun. He stepped forward and extended his hand to Edric. The sage spoke words of blessing and healing, and suddenly Edric felt his soul filled with new energy and strength. "You are a brave spirit, Edric," said the sage. "You decided to go against the forces of darkness and bring light back into the world. Thank you for your courage." The sage then turned to the twisted relic and chanted the ancient incantations. Waves of light and magical energy swept through the temple, destroying the dark forces concentrated in the relic. Instead of the darkness that covered the world, there was now an endless radiance of light. The earth, freed from darkness, has risen in all its beauty. Rainbow colors brightly illuminated the skies, quenching the thirst for sun that had been hidden behind clouds for centuries. Plants began to bloom and animals thundered with joy, bringing life to the newly revived. Edric looked at all this, feeling complete peace within himself. He knew that his journey and his courage brought light and hope to those who suffered in darkness. He was able to bring the world back to life and prove that even in the darkest times there is a place for hope and salvation. And so Edric, once a lonely wanderer, became a hero whose brave act became a symbol of hope for all living beings in this reborn world. And although his adventures were not over, he knew that his strength and determination would not allow the darkness to return. Thus ends the story of Edric, a man who found the courage to change his world and bring light to where before there was only darkness.